And we need to be obeying this commandment right now. If we obey this commandment, all the others is much easier to obey. And tree, we know from the Messiah, trees are men. Okay? So from men, the knowledge or the understanding, good and evil, not partake. You do not allow men to tell you what's right and wrong. You ask God what's right and wrong, because these men will lead you straight to hell. The men are the Baals, okay? Especially these leaders of the church, they are the Baals, and it was already foretold that these churches would be leading people to hell, and that's just what it is, okay? So from men, from tree, which is men, the knowledge or the understanding of what's good and evil, not partake from them. This is not just from, it's from them. It's many other places. It can be other things. Hebrew is a little different than English, but for in the day, and remember, days is 1,000 years to God, and this is actually plural, so I don't even know exactly what it is, and they translate it many different ways. Okay, and if you'll notice, this is spelled different than this. This is actually you at the end. This is actually to eat you from them, where it says surely. No, this is, they're going to put up here die, but they didn't even they translated it surely, because they've been leading us away from the truth, just like the Messiah said, just like he said in Matthew 23:13, that the scribes and Pharisees have shut in our face the truth. Only those that are willing to dig and dig deep are going to find the truth and find life. Matthew 7:14. Remember, how did the man get to the kingdom of heaven? Matthew 13:44. How did he find it? It's like a hidden, buried treasure. Who hid it? The scribes. What are we going to have to do? We're going to have to go to the oldest manuscripts, and we're going to have to not depend on the scribes, not depend on their translations, and we're going to have to dig for the truth. And let me just continue. Anyways, this is, it says die here, but it's exactly the same, exact same word that's over here where you see death. It's of death. It is death. Okay? Exact same word. All this modern junk they add on it to lead us away from the truth. When you're going to research something, make sure you take all that off. And if you want to know every place it is, well, I'll show you that in a minute, but let's go back. Just so you know, this is death. From the time you're eating from them, like you're taking the dead from them and eating it, then you're gonna die. And this is actually, then you will also die or be death. Okay, this is like the die, or you die, or whoever it's pertaining to die. Okay, so you're not supposed to eat the dead. So all this mumbo jumbo lies, how they Jeremiah 8:8, they literally took God's law and turned it into a lie. And I know people are going to say the Messiah ate fish. No, he didn't. The fish are his true servants. The truth was hidden in the parable. If you pay attention, go to every place it talks about this. The fish are looking up into the heaven. They're giving thanks. And then the fish are breaking the bread and passing them out, because the fish are the true servants of God. Remember the parable where he said, if a father, I think he said father, I could be wrong, asked for a fish, would he give him a serpent? A serpent is an enemy to God. A fish is somebody that follows him and is serving him. Okay, the fish, this is why the truth hidden in plain sight. You'll see these pastors, these Roman Catholic people that are supposed to be priests, they're supposed to be servants or ministers. Pope is supposed to be a minister, and they wear these fish hats. Okay, that is truth hidden in plain sight. Okay, another thing is right after that, he tells us what these are opposites. The opposite of a servant is a serpent. Okay, which is the enemy of God, which somebody that opposes him. And then it gives us the opposite of bread. The opposite of bread is stone. Flesh is When you eat flesh, you're practicing voodoo.
If you go to Luke in the Codex Sinaiticus, you'll see, and it's a little different from what we have in our Bibles. I've noticed they're all bits and pieces of leaven and stuff added to them. But what's written here is that the Messiah is telling Peter to go out into the deep and to release the net he uses to catch fish with. And when he goes out to do this, it says this huge swarm of fish comes and breaks the net. It's so big, it causes his boat to sink, almost killing everyone on the boat. So they call to another boat. It almost causes that boat to sink. And what's very foretelling is what Peter says. He tells Messiah not to even look at him because he's trespassed. Why does he say this? Yeah, you can see right here. It says, "Behold, then Peter fell at the knees of Messiah, saying, Depart from me, because man, sinful or trespass, I am," which means he failed. So what exactly was did he fail? This is why I believe, first of all, I don't go according to the Codex Sinaiticus completely. I believe that too has been perverted. I wish I had the original manuscripts, but I can find evidence everywhere of deception and how these scribes wanted to make sure we still thought we could eat flesh, but how it's literally showing through the words, especially in the parables, where Messiah is telling us not to eat the dead. He's saying that the Pharisees are the ones that literally their body is literally full of bones and the dead. We are not supposed to eat the dead. But why had Peter failed? But I think we can find the answer right here to what the Messiah tells Peter next. He says, "Fear not. From now on, men you will capture for life." And that's what I translated. Men, you're captured for life. So I don't know if he's actually kind of throwing shade because Peter did become the stumbling block to many people. Many people are literally going off of Peter's transgressions, thinking we are supposed to follow him when the only one we are supposed to follow is the Messiah. But from here on out, they were not literally fishing anymore. I think they learned their lesson that day when they almost died trying to catch fish. And I don't know if Messiah really told them or not to go out into the deep and to release their net, if he meant to destroy it. That's what I used to think it meant, because that same word is in the word of hail, which is something that comes to destroy. But I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, all I can tell you is the manuscripts have been corrupted. The Codex Sinaiticus was written at least 300 years after the Messiah came. So, what did the scribes corrupt in that one? I don't know. But I can tell you, if you just go back to the Codex Sinaiticus and compare it to the interlinear, you will find all kinds of differences.
And I translated all this. If you go translate, you're gonna be amazed at what these people like perverted. You're gonna come awake when you start translating. When you go, and what I do is go to the Codex Sinaiticus, and I see all these words around this that they literally just completely changed, distorted the whole sentence, literally added words, took out words, misspelled words, made them different words. Yes, it is a conspiracy. The scribes literally shut in our face the truth, and few are going to find life. But it's hidden in his parables, and those that truly love him will seek his law with all their heart and will obey him and stop depending on these men out here. And I'm not just talking about men. I'm females too. Like females too, y'all. We need to be stop depending on people and depend on the word of God. If you really pay attention to Jeremiah chapter 7 verses 20 through 24, this desolation is coming because people are still eating flesh and still doing sacrifices, and they're doing it today in other countries. I know for sure. I've seen it on the internet, and I'm like, what? If you, the people that did burnt offerings will become a burnt offering. Okay, he never wanted you to shed innocent blood. That is not going to get you into the kingdom of heaven. That's going to get you into hell, and you're going to catch on fire. And you need to stop eating flesh. Those that continue to eat flesh will remain blind. They won't level up, and they will have to go through the wrath of God. Okay, it's those that stop eating flesh that don't have to go through this. And I'm not saying that's the only thing you need to stop doing, but that's a major one. And when you stop doing that, it makes all the others easier, because now you're satisfied. Now you no longer have strange desires. When you eat flesh, you're literally practicing sin, what's known as voodoo in other cultures, and you're literally offering your body as a temple to devils, and now they can enslave you. But anyways, go check this out for yourself. What I was going to show you when I want to research something, like I took this word the other day and I put it in my translator. This is how I do it. Okay, you're going to have to get the leaven off of it. So you're going to go here and just retype it without any of this stuff on there. And then you're going to take it. And I don't even trust these translators anymore. I take it and I go research the word every place it's been in the Bible, and you will be amazed at what these people corrupted and changed, and like they've literally been feeding us lies. So you put it here, and then I think it's like 161 or 162 times. Yeah, I literally went here and translated everywhere. And sometimes it's us, sometimes it's like from us, sometimes it's from them, sometimes it's from it, sometimes it's just from. But I did this with many things. In fact, I'm going to go over another verse. I found something that they've been hiding from us, and I'll do that in another video. But I suggest y'all start digging for the truth, because you are going to find the true law of God, and that is literally life. And it's going to protect us in the last days from the wrath of God that is coming for everyone that doesn't obey his law.